Chelsea vs Liverpool, 4-4 Champions League 2009, the night football refused to breathe. Some matches are played, others are survived. On a wild April night in 2009 at Stamford Bridge, football gave us something far more than a quarterfinal. It gave us chaos. It gave us belief, despair, momentum, heartbreak, sometimes all within the same minute. Chelsea vs Liverpool was supposed to be a tactical battle between two English giants. Instead, it became one of the most astonishing matches in Champions League history. 8 goals, relentless drama, and 90 minutes that felt like an entire season compressed into one unforgettable spectacle. The context: a rivalry built on European pain. By 2009, Chelsea and Liverpool were no strangers in the Champions League. They had met repeatedly in knockout rounds during the mid-2000s. 2005, Liverpool heartbreakingly eliminating Chelsea en route to Istanbul glory. 2007, another tense semifinal won by Liverpool. Each meeting layered with grudges, respect, and tactical obsession. These weren't just fixtures. They were psychological wars. When the 2009 quarterfinal draw paired them again, both teams understood something. This would not be ordinary. First leg: Chelsea's command at Anfield. Chelsea stunned Liverpool by winning 3-1 at Anfield in the first leg, a result few expected. It meant Liverpool needed something extraordinary at Stamford Bridge to survive. And Liverpool under Rafael Benitez was nothing if not capable of European miracles. The equation was brutal: score goals, attack relentlessly, risk everything. The opening tension: Stamford Bridge holds its breath. The return leg began with an air of inevitability, Chelsea in control, Liverpool desperate. Chelsea, managed by Gus Hiddink, were disciplined and confident. They didn't need to chase the game. Liverpool, however, played like a team with nothing to lose. From the first whistle, their urgency was clear. Higher pressing, faster transitions, immediate attacking intent. They were not here to manage the match. They were here to disrupt it. Liverpool strike first. Belief ignites. When Liverpool scored the opener, Stamford Bridge didn't panic. But Liverpool did believe. The goal shifted momentum psychologically. Suddenly, the improbable didn't feel impossible. Chelsea's comfortable aggregate lead began to look fragile. European nights have a way of magnifying emotion, and Liverpool thrive in exactly that environment. A second goal changes everything. Liverpool's second goal transformed tension into genuine drama. Now the aggregate scoreline tightened. Chelsea, who had appeared in control of the tie, suddenly faced a game that demanded response rather than management. The match opened up, dangerously. Because when structure breaks down between two elite teams, chaos follows. Chelsea respond. Experience speaks. Great teams don't collapse easily. Chelsea adjusted quickly, leaning on experience and composure. They slowed the tempo, regained possession, and began asserting themselves physically and tactically. When Chelsea found the net, it felt like order being restored. The message was clear: you may threaten us, but we are still in charge. Then came the madness. Football sometimes abandons logic. What followed was a sequence of goals that felt almost surreal, wave after wave of attacking football from both sides. Liverpool scored again. Chelsea answered. Liverpool pushed forward relentlessly. Chelsea countered with ruthless efficiency. Defensive caution disappeared. This was no longer a chess match. It was a storm. The midfield battle, where the match was truly won and lost. While fans remember the goals, the real engine of the match lay in midfield. Players on both sides pushed beyond tactical instruction, driving forward repeatedly. Quick vertical passes replaced patient build-up. Midfielders surged into attacking positions. Defensive responsibilities blurred under relentless pressure. It was football played at emotional velocity. Individual brilliance amid collective chaos. Matches like this are shaped not just by systems but by moments of courage. Players stepped forward again and again. Long-range strikes. Late runs into the box. Risk-taking that ignored consequence. You could sense the mentality shift. No one wanted to be cautious. Everyone wanted to be decisive. The scoreline climbs, and so does the drama. As the goals accumulated, the match transformed into something unforgettable. Each new strike altered the emotional balance. One team surged with hope. The other answered with defiance. The crowd barely had time to react before the next moment arrived. It was football stripped to its essence: attack, react, believe. Why this match became legendary. The 4-4 draw wasn't memorable simply because of the number of goals. It mattered because of context. This was a Champions League knockout match. between two tactically disciplined English sides, played under enormous pressure. Such games are usually tight and cautious. Instead, this one exploded into openness. Tactical discipline versus emotional momentum. Chelsea tried repeatedly to restore control. Liverpool repeatedly broke it. That tension defined the match, structure battling urgency. In the end, neither fully won. The game became too fast, too open, too emotionally charged to be contained. The psychological weight of the aggregate score. Despite Liverpool's incredible fightback, Chelsea always held a narrow aggregate advantage. That dynamic created relentless pressure. Liverpool needed just one more. Chelsea needed to avoid just one mistake. This constant imbalance drove the match's frantic energy. Stamford Bridge becomes a theater. As the clock ticked down, the stadium felt less like a venue and more like a stage for unfolding drama. Every clearance mattered. Every attack carried possibility. Fans sensed they were witnessing something rare, a match that refused predictability. The final goals: exhaustion meets determination. Late in the game, both teams showed signs of fatigue, yet neither retreated. Instead of slowing down, they kept pushing forward. That refusal to settle preserved the spectacle. By the time the eighth goal was scored, disbelief had replaced tension. Even players seemed aware they were part of something extraordinary. Full time, Chelsea progress, but the story belongs to both teams. The match ended 4-4. Chelsea advanced on aggregate, but the result almost felt secondary to the experience itself. Players from both sides collapsed not just from exhaustion, but from the sheer intensity of what they had lived through. Legacy of the match. Years later, Chelsea vs Liverpool 2009 remains one of the Champions League's most iconic encounters because it captured everything football can be. Tactical intelligence, emotional unpredictability, individual courage, collective resilience. It showed how quickly matches can transform, and how belief can reshape even the most difficult circumstances. Why fans still talk about it? Supporters remember where they were that night because the match delivered constant surprise. There was no safe assumption. No comfortable rhythm. Just 90 minutes of uncertainty. Football at its most alive. A reminder of what makes the Champions League special. The Champions League has produced countless great matches. But games like this define its mythology. Knockout football strips teams down to mentality. And on that night, both Chelsea and Liverpool showed extraordinary resolve. Final reflection. When football refused to be predictable. The scoreboard read, Chelsea 4, Liverpool 4. But the match represented far more than a draw. It was a collision of belief and control. Of desperation and experience. Of two teams refusing to surrender to circumstance. Some matches entertain. Some matches inspire. And a rare few, like Chelsea vs Liverpool in 2009, remind us that football's greatest power lies in its unpredictability. Because sometimes, the game doesn't just test teams. It creates moments they, and we, will never forget.